Hi, Gil Wink here with Solterra Estates and Lending, coming to you this afternoon. The thing I'm going to talk about is this new National Association of Realtors settlement. Been reading up on it. I've been kind of watching videos and educating myself on what's really going on here and how it's going to affect buyers, sellers, and everybody in the market moving forward. What the new rules will be like, and sort of what happened in the settlement. So what happened, just to make long story short, the National Association of Realtors got sued in the Midwest and lost, and they've got a settlement of $418 million that they had to pay. They couldn't afford to pay that all at once, so they negotiated a settlement to pay it out over 4 years. Part of that negotiation was to change some of the rules set forth by the National Association of Realtors, or actually not even change the rules, but probably make it a little bit more transparent, so they say. So the way it works right now, if you want to sell your house, you meet with somebody like me, a licensed real estate agent. You negotiate the list price, and then you negotiate the amount of compensation that you're going to pay a broker. Usually 5 or 6%. Sometimes it could be a little less. Sometimes it could be a little bit more, but usually that's about what it is. Then you negotiate with the broker. Okay, if a buyer comes with their own agent, how would you like to pay? Would you like to compensate the buyer's agent? And typically you just split the fee. If it's 5%, you give 2.5% to the buyer's agent, and then the listing agent would keep the other 2.5%. But it's all negotiable. It always has been. It's on the first page of the listing agreement, and I've been in this business for over 20 years, and it's always been there. It's in bold 16-point type on the first page that states that sales commissions are not set by law, and they're fully negotiable. So this law kind of reiterates that, or the new rules reiterate that. There's been a lot of misinformation out there. I've heard on the radio, I've seen other reports that say, oh, the National Association of Realtors used to force people to pay 6%, or they set it at 6 and 5%. And now that's all changed. And it's like, no. It's never been set. It's always been negotiable, and you can always negotiate it. You don't have to pay a cooperating broker commission, although it's highly advisable, because if you want to get the best exposure, you should pay a buyer's agent commission for showing the property. I've also heard, well, why would I pay a buyer's agent commission when I'm the seller? I've already got a selling agent or a listing agent. Why am I paying this guy? He does nothing for me. And it's like, well, wait a minute. He just bought you a buyer, right? And didn't he buy your house? So you're the one financially benefiting from the sale of your house, not the buyer. The buyer's the one that's putting the money up to buy the house. So typically, whoever sells a product, any product, throughout the world, throughout the history of time, the seller or the manufacturer, the person providing the product, always pays the commission if there's like an agent or a broker or somebody involved, a salesperson involved. You don't walk into the dealership and buy yourself a brand new car and then have to pay the salesman there out of your pocket an additional commission. And that's sort of what this law is trying to do. They're trying to say that sellers now have the ability to negotiate their commission, how much they want to pay in commission. Well, they never paid commission before, so the whole thing's silly. So now they got to negotiate for something that they never paid before. Usually the seller pays it. And here's where it gets even weirder, because in the settlement, the National Association of Realtors agreed to two main things. One, on the listing, you can't put on the MLS, it's called BAC, buyer's agent commission. Used to be you'd put that in there, 2, 3%, 2.5%, whatever. And then a buyer's agent could see all the listings and they could see how much they were going to get paid. It was all transparent, it was upfront. Everybody knew what was going on. However, it wasn't set by law. I've seen listings that had 0. So now you can't put it on the listing as buyer's agent commission on the MLS. You're not allowed to advertise it, which makes 0 sense, because now it's kind of confusing to the buyer's agent. If the seller is going to pay the commission, do they know? How do they know? So here's where it gets really weird. You can list it on any other website. So the listing agent broker has his own website. he can put on his website what the buyer's agent commission is. He just can't put it on the MLS. You can put it on probably your flyers, what the buyer's agent commission is. The other weird thing about it is you're allowed in the public comments section of the listing to put, you can't put buyer's agent commission, but you can put seller concessions. And you can put the seller agrees to a concession of minimum 2% or 2.5%. And that notifies everybody that that concession can be used for the buyer's agent commission. See, they didn't eliminate buyer's agent commission. They didn't eliminate the possibility that a seller could pay a buyer's agent commission. They just eliminated you stating it outright on the MLS, which is weird. Okay, so now you got to state it sort of in this roundabout way. The other unintended consequence is going to be this. I think people in the lower end markets are going to end up paying more for homes because they're going to get financing. They're going to need already seller concessions for closing costs or for a 2-1 rate buy down. They got financing because rates are so high. So along with all those other seller concessions that the lower end market buyers are going to be asking for, they're also going to now have to ask for like a buyer's agent commission concession. And it's going to be baked into the price. And if you're going to be competitive on a multiple thing, you're going to put the price higher on your offer. So I think it's just kind of, it's going to just create, they say this is supposed to reduce the cost in the pricing of housing. It's just going to make it go up higher. Buyers already have enough costs to make them pay the commission. If the seller's not paying it, is just ridiculous. But I think a lot of sellers are going to cooperate. A lot of listing agents are going to encourage their sellers to cooperate, offer a seller concession, minimum 2 or 3% or 2.5%, and that's sort of how everybody's going to get around it. And that's silly. I think that's just kind of a silly thing to do. Just keep it the way it is. So anyway, the other thing that, the number 2 thing that they're going to require is every buyer's agent is going to have to sign a buyer agent contract with the buyer before he shows them any property, which is fine. We have those kind of contracts already. We kind of encourage people to sign them because it kind of locks you into the buyer and keeps them from, going behind your back or buying a property that you showed them without your representation. So it kind of guarantees maybe a little bit more of a direct relationship and a compensation for your time. However, it's just going to slow things down. It's going to be a little bit crazy, but we'll see how that all works out. I haven't seen what the contracts are going to look like, so we'll have to see how they are. Can you renegotiate your commission later? I'm sure you can. You can probably just sign a new contract. But anyway, this whole thing is crazy. But just wanted to let you know this is supposed to go into effect the middle of July. We don't know the exact date yet, but when it does, it's going to be interesting. If you have any questions, you'd like to know more about this new rule, give me a call. My phone number is 949-887-3505. Talk to you later. Bye.